Alright, well, what we have here is an installment of Adobe CS5 with me. I love editing photos, and I've recently gone to Michigan for Christmas, and of course I wanted some pictures of my family, and just kind of here doing a little touch-up work, because as you can see, Keegan's got a very bright red nose here, and I'm just kind of want to take that down a little, do some other small adjustments, tweaks, and try and just make this look a little bit better. The original file, as it came out of the camera through the settings on my camera and how it saw the picture being taken, this is how it processed the photo, which you can see is just super dark. You can almost barely make out who's even in it. It's terrible. But the good thing about taking photos with that camera, you get the raw file also, and in Adobe you get the camera raw plugin, so I can take the raw file, drop it into Adobe, and I can develop this photo how I want it to be developed. So it's basically like having a dark room for digital prints. So you go in, do all my settings, and I've come to this photo here. Got some slight vignetting that I added in the processing, and just kind of brought all the levels up, the exposure, the contrast, and really made it look a lot different than it was before. And I'm in the wrong thing here, just there. So you can see quite a bit different. But like I said, what we're going to do is go in and just kind of touch up a few small things that I've noticed in the photo, such as her bright red nose, which is easy to correct. I mean, I just come in here with a desaturation brush, a sponge tool, which if I turn this up I can show you, it just takes the color right out of anything. And so I'm going to take that at a very low flow rate, and I'm just going to go in and I'm going to touch up this bright red nose a little and just kind of pull some of the color out of that so it's not so bright red, because it was pretty cold out that day and there's nothing wrong with it looking like that, but kind of looks a little unnaturally red, partially because of the editing, the processing and the editing I did before to get this photo. I popped the color up just a little bit. So now that we've got that, I've noticed that Rob here is just a little out of focus, which isn't great. I would like him to be just a little more in focus. Wish I could have done that with the picture, but she must have been the one that my camera focused on, and so it kind of left him just a little out, just his face for some reason. I mean, his clothes look like they're pretty sharp and in focus, but we're just gonna kind of go in here and hit him with the sharpen tool and try and pop him back out a little bit. Once that finishes rendering, I can kind of going back and forth and show you the difference. It's not super noticeable. You can tell just a little bit. I just wanted to get some more detail in his eyes and basically his face and stuff like that. Nothing too crazy. The only other thing I really noticed that I'm really wanting to take a look at over here is just a couple spots on Keegan's forehead that are just bugging me. I mean, everyone's got blemishes. I'm sure everyone kind of wants to look their best in a photo. Sometimes it does that. I don't want it to do that. So we're going to move that just a little. See if we can't get this spot to stop blurring out super crazy like that. There you go, a little smaller here on my brush. There. We can kind of just smooth that out a little bit. Same as over here, it's a slightly dark spot on her forehead that we can just kind of smooth out ever so slightly. This one is a little close to the hair, so it keeps wanting to pull different colors over. It's really hard to try and blend that one in though. I can live with that. There's a couple small spots here, freckles or, you know, what have you. Nothing too major. I mean, obviously it's just... Alright, stop going in. Jeez. So, there, you know, as we can toggle this back and forth, you see, you know, the minor changes to Keegan's face. And even from here, the sharpening effect on Rob's face isn't, you know, super dramatic. I can just barely tell the difference. The last thing that I want to add is just to render a lighting effect right over the center of the two of them to really make them kind of just pop out just a little bit more. I believe, you know, it's going to kind of help the photo. Set that and choop. There. Keegan looks a little overexposed now, which is not what I was going for. Obviously the epicenter of the lighting effect is right here. That's where I placed it. So it kind of brightened that up and darkened just a little bit of everything around it. And I'm not too keen on the brightness on the side of her face here. So I'm just going to take the opacity down on this layer a little and the fill until there. We get it back to looking normal. We're just kind of toggling it on and off, see what all changes have been made to the layer. And you can tell this is the original photo I started with, and here it is after just doing a few small edits. And yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it. I like that right there. So I'll save that photo, and that will be the one that I would use in the future. But yeah, if you like this tutorial, I suppose, I mean, if I taught you anything, or if it was just fun to watch, let me know. And maybe I'll do more in the future. I really don't do too many photos these days, but I did buy a new camera, and I am kind of looking to get back into it because it is fun, and I like having fun with it. But I try to take more of a minimalist approach to it now. I don't want to go anything super crazy like I used to way back in the day. So just trying to give these two a nice Christmassy photo in the winter. Hopefully they'll remember for years to come. So, till next time.